I think the thing that sets human beings apart from other creatures is a built-in dissatisfaction. There's an itch that we have that can't be scratched. Our efforts to scratch it have created civilization, which is essentially the practice of trying to adapt the environment to us rather than adapting ourselves to the environment.
Technology means power to us. It symbolizes potentially immortality. This is the fantasy that somehow we can transcend our horrible condition of being human through these shiny black boxes.
You become a god. You have the power to change reality. You have the power to create reality. When you look on the TV, and is anything you see real? Nobody knows anymore. With some of the digital imagery, with some of the retouching, some of the 3D animation, what you see, it isn't real. And with this technology, it lets me be a god, and it lets me create my reality.
While a lot of us patiently await the next version of the iPhone or smart technology, those that are behind this technology are at work on their real projects, like transhumanism, singularity, or extropy, posthumanism, whatever you choose to call it. The same groups that are behind the tech in your little mindless applications are the same behind bio, nano, and blockchain technology. Mainly, groups like Stanford Research Institute.
SRI is a great place to come for people who have an interest in creating their own future, creating the future in their own hands.
We're very comfortable here thinking about technologies that don't exist yet, developing them, and then even bringing them to market.
We have people with PhDs in chemistry, biology, mathematics, controls, people really from across the spectrum of academia. Working at SRI is sort of halfway between working at an academic institution and working in a commercial research institution.
Something unique about SRI is that we can actually take bigger risks and look further into the future. So where other groups might be integrating existing technologies into new platforms, we are actually working on those fundamental technologies themselves. And that way we can enable things that really weren't possible before.
SRI is a place that incubates companies regularly. We spin out several companies a year, and these companies take the ideas from SRI research projects and turn them into practical reality that can actually go to market.
Similar to how SRI snuck in advanced geo-mapping technology through silly and hypnotic applications like Pokemon Go. They are slipping you a cyber roofie comprised of biotechnology that merges you with your smartphone. From fingerprints to iris scans and facial recognition, all in your cute little sleek and fancy iPhone. Just like the internet and its origins, though it's turned into many advantages on the consumer level, it was solely constructed for military use in concert with global networking goals for human, social, political, and biological singularity. But to ensure proper public reaction and acceptance, these high-level, highly advanced forms of elite technology are always rolled out in some sort of consumer-level capacity. Toned down, washed out, simplified yet pretty and convenient forms of commercial technological goods for the everyday person.
We like the idea of a controlled environment only because you can control whether there's pollution, you can control what's in the ocean, control what's on the sand, the beach. It's just a cleaner environment. They've had a lot of experience to change things.
We see this played out via this real drone usage militarily and the made-for-consumer rollout drone culture that has captivated the minds of many citizens today. Basically, we see the generational, covert production of technological weapons of mass control, hiding behind the guise of overt technological gadgets of mass convenience. Overall, the problem here is much less about technology in itself, but much more about those who are creating this technology. Who is setting the boundaries? And are there any? Who is funding this type of evolutionary development? And moreover, what is their motivation? Outside of the end world poverty rhetoric, of course, what is their worldview, and where do we, as simple consumers of statistical data, fit in all of this? If we have created technology that can visually transport you anywhere in the world instantly, control your entire life from your hand, or literally alter our genetic code from within a laboratory in less than 30 years, how and why is it that we have not come close to ending something as non-technological and simple as global hunger? Yet we've had hundreds of years to do so. This describes the true priorities of those placed in authority of technology and global affairs. Yet they will attempt to convince us that sustainability and equality is their goal, though essentially they aim to develop global dominance technology beneath the wool cloth of humanitarianism.
Science and technology is a sword. On one hand, if it's wielded by people who are concerned about other people, the sword could cut against ignorance, poverty, disease, and liberate humanity. Or, if it is wielded by the Pentagon and by the aerospace industries, then perhaps we will have weapons of incredible destructive power, like cruise missiles that have pattern recognition abilities that can recognize objects and drop bombs on them.
Technological history and the funding that has gone into it will reveal the true priorities of our modern-day scientific revolution. The best interests of humanity are not within those priorities. We cannot cure basic human needs like hunger or shelter, yet we can connect the globe via high-speed internet signals. We can get Hollywood films, BPA plastics, abortion doctors, and high fructose corn syrup in every corner of the earth. Are we getting the picture here? No conspiracy theories needed. The proof is in the pudding. Their hyperactivity in certain areas and their inaction in many others speaks volumes enough. The humanist elite have very little concern with helping, developing, or saving humanity at all. It seems their only real concern is to control it. If anything, we are just in the way of progress. The important issue here is, this has always been the plan, far before these types of technology existed.
So in a sense, you have a sort of a type of omnipotence. I myself don't worry about whether this is blasphemous or we're trying to play God. We're simply trying to gain the control that we are able to over nature and over our own selves.
One of the issues here is turning the body into a controlled environment, and of course the ethical questions become massive. I mean, if we can control the body, does it necessarily mean that we should? In a way, it becomes a moot point. If we can, we will. But where does that stop?
The mind is changing. Through computers, they're artificial. The mind itself is expanding. Like through virtual reality, through other projects, you are experiencing new experiences. It's not drugs. It's at all. Just ingenious. Right. And people like us understand that. And we're like so far beyond. We try to expand other people. Right.
We are in an era in which the natural world is threatened by human activity. So we can't drink from our rivers. The air is polluted. The food chain is suffering. At the same time, we can retreat into a synthetic world in which we have artificial trees and artificial skies and artificial animals. I think the day might come when some of those worst science fiction fantasies come true. The electricity goes off and you discover you're not living in paradise, you're living in hell. Is this a natural thing? Well, not much about our society is natural anymore.